Hello and welcome to Super Mario Bros. Bonanza. I've just finished reviewing all of the 19 mainline Super Mario platformers, as well as the titles that have received proper remakes, and now it's time to crown off this return to the series. When I reviewed and ranked each of these Super Mario platformers, at the time I was more concerned with seeing how they compared to one another. Every other game that I review, I give it a ranking out of 10. I have not done this for any Mario title. So now that I've ranked all 19 mainline games plus the All-Stars, Deluxe, Advance, and 64DS remakes, now it's time to properly give them all a rating. And of course, they will be ordered in the new overall ranking from worst to best. Starting with number 23, Super Mario Bros. 2 The Lost Levels is not a very good game. While the physics were good for the time, they were also unrefined. It has the same music as the original, same art as the original, same enemies as the original, same stage hazards as the original, plus poison, mushrooms, and wind. But its biggest sin is that the development team opted to raise the game's difficulty by obfuscating platforms and tricking the player. Every time I leave feeling betrayed, where in every other Mario game, I leave having enjoyed solid platforming. Super Mario Bros. 2 The Lost Levels gets a poison mushroom out of 10. The poison mushrooms are only there to be annoying. Number 22, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. I make it no secret that I don't enjoy the Lost Levels, nor do I particularly enjoy the original Super Mario Bros., but I can at least respect what the original did for the genre, for the industry. However, the only way to properly port these titles to the Game Boy Color was to zoom in on the game until I couldn't see 5 sprites ahead of Mario. There's some really cool additions, like the challenge and Boo Race modes, and the games themselves are remarkably well ported, but I already don't enjoy playing these games. I especially don't like playing them when I can't see 6 blocks ahead of Mario. Super Mario Bros. Deluxe gets a tricky Boo Race out of 10. The idea is cool, but it didn't quite nail the execution. Number 21, Super Mario Land. Nintendo's first handheld Mario was a decent first try. The physics aren't quite there, the levels loop on themselves a bit too often, but the amount of neat ideas the team had were amazing. It by no means is a bad game, but it's not one I find myself wanting to go back to. Overall, Super Mario Land gets an "Aw, Daisy" out of 10. She's in exactly one other Mario platformer. Wild. Number 20, New Super Mario Bros. Wii is the most mediocre the Mario series has ever been. Other than a baby's handful, there are no particularly interesting levels. Annoying levels are in abundance. Each are too long for their own good, the mechanics have never been more derivative, and seeking out the star medals was never as interesting as it should be. Overall, New Super Mario Bros. Wii gets a penguin suit out of 10. It might be an underutilized power-up, but it's nice they let me be a penguin. Number 19, New Super Mario Bros. 2 might not be a technically excellent game. It has many of the same faults as New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but the development team had the correct forethought to lean into an element that could be fun. And as it turns out, collecting unimaginable amounts of coins can be pretty darn satisfying. Overall, New Super Mario Bros. 2 gets a golden flower out of 10. It's surprisingly fun. Number 18, Super Mario Land 2 and the 6 Golden Coins. After trying their hand with a handheld Mario platformer with the original, the dev team made some remarkable improvements with Mario Land 2. While the game is short and Mario is a tad bit big on the screen, it's impressive how it feels like a millstep between Mario 3 and Super Mario World, despite releasing after both. Overall, Super Mario Land 2 and the 6 Golden Coins gets a Wario out of 10. So you see, that's where the trouble began. That smile. That darn smile. Number 17, Super Mario 3D Land is easily the worst 3D platformer in the Super Mario series, which is saying a lot. because 3D Land is pretty darn good. The lack of unique power-ups is a bit disappointing. The extra post-Bowser stages were a tad derivative, and not having a proper joystick doesn't help, but it's an incredibly solid game otherwise. Overall, Super Mario 3D Land gets a Bitty Buddies out of 10. And it gave us Bitty Buddies, they're the best, look at them. Number 16, New Super Mario Bros. Gets a bad rap. Yes, it started the now rote formula, but at the time it was amazing to finally get another really good 2D Mario. Maybe some of the secrets weren't the best, sure the Mega Mushroom was underutilized, but it's a really good platformer. Overall, New Super Mario Bros. Gets a Mega Mario out of 10. Number 15, Super Mario 64 is a technical feat, filled with some of the best designed and most iconic platforming arenas ever put to cartridge, a score that will echo through the ages, and a movement suite that with just a bit of refinement will make for some of the best platforming ever. But it doesn't look quite good enough yet, and the moveset was just coarse enough to be grating. Overall, Super Mario 64 gets a low poly Mario out of 10. Life could be a dream. Number 14, Super Mario Sunshine is always beautiful, especially if you love the beach, and it arguably plays really well once FLUDD has been accepted into your heart. Maybe I don't love searching each level for those interminable blue coins, but I do love running around, talking to Piantas, and cleaning up some icky paint like goop. Overall, Super Mario Sunshine gets a Strollin' Stoop out of 10. Look at them, they're strolling! Number 13, Super Mario Bros. 2 USA is both a Mario game and a really good one. Sure, it's a bit weird, Mario and Co. can stand on most enemies, but once I got used to it, plucking veggies was a really fun mechanic, and the sense of adventure is immaculate, not to mention the top-of-the-line score. Overall, Super Mario Bros. 2 USA gets a Fanto out of 10. It's terrifying, it's amazingly fun. Number 12, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is the best the New Super Mario Bros. Formula can get. The map is as close as the development team could get to World. The levels are almost visually interesting enough, the music is almost catchy enough. Where it's above the rest of the series is with level design. There are some excellent stages spread across the main game and New Super Luigi U, and the extra challenges were a fantastic addition. Overall, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe gets a Baby Yoshi out of 10. Is it a returning mechanic reworked in a slightly strange way? Yes, but it works in certain contexts. Do they look way too young to be that stoned? Also yes, but at least they're happy. Number 11, Super Mario Bros. Epitomizes a strong start. Given what the early NES was capable of, Super Mario Bros. Did a great job teaching the populace what a platformer could be, which is to say, I respect it more than I enjoy playing it. Super Mario Bros. Gets a Super Mushroom out of 10. It's a classic. Number 10, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the best 2D platformer in the series in decades. While the platforming itself feels much like that from the New Super Mario Bros. Series, the amount of polish and attention put into the rest of the game blows it out of the water. Every animation is so lovingly rendered, all the levels have such creative elements in their own right, and the world map is a fascinating combination of linear progression and 3D world-style open areas. And the Wonder Flowers are on another level entirely, bringing in a fantastic, wild new element into each stage that left me amazed every single time. Overall, Super Mario Bros. Wonder gets a Person Turned into a Goomba out of 10. Look at how cute their little Goomba Sonas are. Number 9, Super Mario 64 DS takes that already great Super Mario 64 hub world, courses, and music, and does just enough fine-tuning on the graphics and controls to push it over the edge for me. Plus it added a few really fun new levels, stars, and a whole bunch of hit-or-miss minigames. Overall, Super Mario 64 DS gets a Group of Mustache-Obsessed Bosses out of 10. they're all so concerned about the state of their or the player character's mustaches. It's great. Number 8. Super Mario Galaxy revolutionized the video game space by making platforms spherical, only 2 years after Psychonauts did it, and it's amazing. And it revolutionized games by making the player waggle a remote control around to do one of the most satisfying moves in Mario history. That's great too. And it revolutionized games by utilizing a full orchestra for one of the best soundtracks in Mario history. Also, the levels are really good too. Overall, Super Mario Galaxy gets a "so chunks, huh?" penguin out of 10. Look, penguins had to be here somewhere. This one's a good one. Number 7, Super Mario Galaxy 2 only exists because the development studio had too many ideas to cram into the original. The sequel was able to ever so slightly tune the controls, added incredible new mechanics, brought Yoshi back, and almost one-upped the soundtrack. Overall, Super Mario Galaxy 2 gets a Grandmaster Galaxy out of 10. The trend of final challenges to culminate Mario games has persisted since, and I am eternally grateful for it. Number 6, Super Mario Bros. 3 is one of the best platformers ever made. It is the perfect encapsulation of throwing a cool idea at the player and getting rid of it before it's cold. And with a suite of now iconic powers, excellent levels, and a really fun world to explore, it's almost amazing the whole thing fits on an NES cartridge. Overall, Super Mario Bros. 3 gets a Tanuki suit out of 10, as cute as it is iconic. Number 5, Super Mario All-Stars. A collection of the first 4 Super Mario games is almost unfair to rank. A collection that goes through and updates all the art and music while keeping the gameplay as accurate as possible? Even better. Overall, I give Super Mario Bros. All-Stars a lovely Toad animation, and oh wow, maybe they shouldn't have made the Goombas look different, a Peach riding an egg, and a hold up, is that a Yoshi? Out of 10. There's 4 games after all. Number 4, as a reminder, the Super Mario Advance series is ranked together, so to start with the sub-ranking within this ranking, number 4.3, Super Mario World Mario Advanced 2 should be the best Advance game. It's Super Mario World after all, but when it was brought over to this smaller piece of hardware, it lost screen real estate, vibrant colors, and sound quality, only to gain a few extra Dragon Coins. It's still a good game, but it lost the most of all the Advance titles. Super Mario World Super Mario Advanced 2 gets a friendly dolphins out of 10. They're cute, but not really necessary. Number 4.2, Super Mario Advanced 4 Super Mario Bros. 3 is the same great Mario Bros. 3 from the All-Stars collection. That remained almost unchanged. But with the e-reader add-on, or in my case with the Nintendo Switch Online port, dozens of new, inventive, and quite difficult levels were added into the mix. A must-play for any Mario 3 fan. Overall, Super Mario Advanced 4 Super Mario Bros. 3 gets an E-coin out of 10. They've got character faces on them, and they were so fun to track down and collect. And number 4.1, Super Mario Advance. A remake of the USA Super Mario Bros. 2 is fantastic. It takes an already excellent game and improves it in every way. It's more fun to play, easier to explore, and there are more things to collect both in the main game and in the post-game. Of all the games in the Advance series, this title received the most impactful upgrades. Overall, I give Super Mario Advance a box art Mario out of 10. Look at how cute he is. Number 3, Super Mario Odyssey is the best playing Mario game. Controlling Mario has never been better, from jumping to somersaulting, and the addition of Cappy only adds to the mix. Long jumping, throwing Cappy, and diving into him is a top-tier combination that feels great to pull off every single time. Not to mention how creative each of Cappy's transformations is, how fun each of these playgrounds are to run around and explore, and it's the first game in the series to include tracks with lyrics. Overall, Super Mario Odyssey gets a Cappy out of 10. An incredibly useful game mechanic, and a really fun guy to be around. Number 2.2, Bowser's Fury makes me so excited about the future of the Mario series. Putting these stand-alone levels in a large open world was a really cool idea, and this game very nearly pulls it off perfectly. The worst part is that it inherits the run button from 3D World. When running around these now much more open areas requires a heavier hand on the camera stick. But when that's not an issue, it's incredibly fun to explore, all the cats are very cute, and the kaiju battles are pretty cool. Overall, Bowser's Fury gets a Bowser Jr.'s paintings out of 10. He's not a very good painter, and it looks like he caused the whole mess to begin with, but they're real cute in it. And number 2.1, Super Mario 3D World takes the platforming ideology of Super Mario 3D Land and expands upon it, creating a fantastic package of somewhat linear 3D levels. The main path is always fun, and searching for all the stamps and green stars only adds to the enjoyment. The new power-ups are really fun to use, all the bosses are fun to battle, and the soundtrack is absolutely roaring. Overall, Super Mario 3D World gets a Bowser's Lowrider out of 10. Why is his car so cool? And finally, number 1, Super Mario World. Super Mario World is the perfect platformer. Every stage is so fun to play through, the added verticality adds so much in terms of secrets, and the host of power-ups and enemies are a blast. And with the wonderful art and immaculate steel drum soundtrack that never gets old, I have literally zero complaints about this video game. Overall, Super Mario World gets a Mario with a cape riding Yoshi. An image so iconic, not only was it used as a trophy in Smash Bros. Melee, but they straight up made a Lego set out of it. It is the image from my childhood. Thank you so much for watching. I've really enjoyed my return to the series. Arbitrarily comparing and ranking games that I love is such a silly activity, and I love doing it. Let me know your scientifically researched rankings of every single Super Mario platformer somewhere on the internet, whether that's here in the comments or on social medias. Links to mine are in the description, but I'm at MarioWith everywhere. It doesn't matter, just let me know. While you're here though, if you'd like, you can leave a rating and even subscribe. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.